Hey guys, welcome to Point Blank Music School here in London and our Orsman Road campus, and welcome to another online open day here at Point Blank. And with me, I've got Luke, who is our course advisor.
Hi there, guys.
So today we're just going to be showing you guys around the campus, and at the end we'll be asking you guys if you have any questions, and then you guys can ask us whatever you want to know about learning here at Point Blank. So let's start off with a bit of history about the school.
Yeah, certainly. So that's a good place to start. Point Blank was originally formed 25 years ago now, actually celebrating our 25th anniversary this year, which we're very excited about. But we really have come leaps and bounds since we originally were formed as a recording studio. The idea back then was that we were going to make records. We found that a lot of people in the studio were asking a lot of questions about how the equipment worked. And so from that, our first course was born. We started teaching music production, and the school has kind of grown into what it is today naturally. So now we focus on things like DJing, music business, sound design, sound engineering, mixing, mastering, singing, songwriting, radio production, and a whole host of other modules that form part of our programs. So they range from short weekend courses for beginners up to our 3-year Bachelor of Arts honours degrees validated by Middlesex University. So I think what we'll do today is go and check out all of our studios. I'll talk a little bit more about what we teach in each of them, the modules that they correlate to, and the programs that they're associated with. And hopefully that's going to give everyone online a bit of an insight into what it's like being a student here at Point Blank, what our facilities are like, what you can expect to be learning when you come and study with us.
Yep, and here we are at the first part of our tour. This is Studio 1, and where we have the awesome SSL GLD Delta Desk right here. Can you tell us a bit more about this desk?
Yeah, so we start with the best, naturally. So this is a 48-channel analog console, but also works as a digital desk as well. This is pretty much your top-of-the-range desk that you'll find in most high-end commercial recording studios. Pretty much every single major hit record back in the 90s and since has been most likely mixed, engineered on a desk like this. And it's got some pretty special qualities to it that you would expect from a well-produced record. The compressors that are loaded up into this machine, the analog compressors,
famous.
Very famous indeed. In fact, Ableton's glue compressor, which probably a few of you might already know, is based on this legendary compressor that you'll find in this desk. And it gives your tracks that amazing, polished, glossy sound that you expect from a well-produced record. So what's great about coming to study with Point Blank is that you get access to the latest and best state-of-the-art equipment like this wonderful Duality Delta console. So as part of our degree programs, you will be getting a lot of hands-on time with this desk. And you'll be learning a lot of new skills on how to operate it, record, mix, master, and engineer, all on this lovely desk.
Yeah, this thing here is amazing. We get a lot of people coming in here. It just blows people's minds because, as you said, Ableton's glue compressor is modeled on this, but not just Ableton. There are so many companies out there that have tried to emulate bits of things that SSL has made and try to make it digital, but you can't beat the original right here.
You can't beat the original. One of the nice things with this desk as well is we have essentially a 32 in, 32 out Pro Tools HD rig, so you can load up all of your projects from Logic Pro, Ableton Live, map them all out onto the channels here on the desk, and then run everything analog. And start getting involved with some outboard gear, for example. So we'll start looking at the use of limiters and other compressors and effects units, etc., to really start getting that nice analog sound that we expect from a well-produced record.
Yeah,
so
I never used to think like analog digital was really a big thing until I started coming here and then noticed that it's actually a huge difference. You can hear it if you put analog and digital next to each other. Something like this really makes it.
Definitely.
That
and over time, your ears will develop and you'll start to kind of learn the differences and the subtleties within those two mediums. But I think we should go and check out the live room
sure.
and take a look in there and see a little bit what we'll be doing in that studio. So if you'd like to follow us, attached to Studio 1 here and Studio 2, which we'll go and check out in a minute, guys, we have our live room. And the live room essentially is where you're going to be learning how to mic up all of the instruments that you would expect to find in it. So we'll be working with different types of microphones, dynamic mics, ribbon mics, condenser mics, etc., to record the sounds that we're after as part of our sound engineering modules. So different placements and techniques will catch different types of sounds, and we could start adding a bit more texture and kind of feel to the instruments that we're recording. So it's something that we'll be focusing a lot within sound engineering. We'll also bring in musicians from outside, so we get professional session musicians, we get students from the Royal College of Music, I should say, string quartets or brass ensembles to come in and record and work with these professional musicians.
Well, just as an example, in sound engineering, which is likely going to be one of the courses that you'll be doing in your first semester here at Point Blank, you will be learning how to record 3 different session musicians, a guitarist, a drummer, and a vocalist. And the challenge isn't so much about writing and telling the musician what you want them to sing. Of course, that's also a big part of it, but a lot of it also comes down to getting a clean recording, getting the right sound that you want, using the right microphones, and that's all the kind of stuff that you'll be learning in sound engineering, which is great because it's not something you can really learn at home.
Absolutely.
And we'll facilitate all of that for you. We'll find all the session musicians. All you need to do is, set up the mics and do all that kind of stuff generally with gear that it's very hard to access yourself. Whereas
exactly.
we have all of that stuff here.
So everything is essentially provided for you here at Point Blank. So all you have to bring is yourselves and the will to learn and your creative spirit, and everything else is here for you to thrive and to develop and evolve into the future recording engineers, session and music producers.
Yeah, and of course, if you want to go and use this room for your own recordings and stuff like that, you can, of course, hire out this room.
Exactly. As part of the course fees, you're able to book out studio time, whether it be in Studio 1 with the SSL and the live room as well if you need to record audio, or just the control room if you're working on a mix down, for example. All of these facilities are available to you whilst you're studying with us.
Cool. Let's move into Studio 2 then.
Yeah, let's go to Studio 2. We'll go around this way. Studio 2 essentially is the next one along, and the live room is sandwiched in between the two. In Studio 2, we're going to be working with a different type of console, although it does a very similar thing to the SSL. It works in a roundabout different way. We have our 48-channel audience analog console. So we want students getting experience working with different types of services, different types of consoles and mixing desks, so that if you did want to go and become a mixing engineer, for example, in a recording studio, you've got experience working with lots of different types of setups. We actually have 2 campuses here in London. We're going to be visiting just the Orsman Road campus today. But round the corner, 2-minute walk away, we have our Penn Street campus, where we have 2 more mixing consoles. We have a 32-channel analog ORAM mixer and a 24-channel TL Audio valve mixer. And the valves in that mixer sound pretty sweet. I definitely recommend getting some time in Studio 8 over at Penn Street to use that particular desk. In terms of how our studios are set up and the workstations that you'll be working from, this is a typical studio environment. So we have 16 workstations. That is the maximum number of students we'll have in any one class. We want them to be intimate-sized classes, so you've got plenty of time with your instructors, plenty of one-on-one time, and access to your own workstation to work from throughout. Everything is provided. We're running an Apple Mac. We've got a MIDI controller, a sound card, and then all the latest software, plugins, etc. are booted up onto the machines. We work with 3 DAWs in particular here at Point Blank. They are Logic Pro, Ableton Live 10, and Pro Tools. And Pro Tools is something we'll look at in the latter stages of our degree programs.
We also use a lot of plugins here as well. You get all the latest Native Instruments plugins.
Absolutely.
We also deal with stuff. We have some UAD stuff.
Yeah, there's UAD, there's Wave stuff. We've got stuff from Isotope. Pretty much everything you probably need in a studio in terms of software plugins. We've got them booted up onto the machine, so you'll have access to all the latest and best stuff when you're here.
And with a lot of this kind of sound engineering stuff and working on mixing desks, another thing I noticed, because I actually came to Point Blank and did a semester here, one of the things I noticed was coming here and thinking, well, I'm never going to actually own a desk like this at home. I'm never going to actually use something like that. But the thing is, you can translate a lot of this stuff into your DAW. Everything in your DAW is essentially modeled off these desks.
Precisely, yeah. Think of Logic or Ableton as a recording studio in a box, in a software format. And so a lot of the technique you learn working on the desk, you can then reapply back into your DAW. They're the same desired outcomes from both. And that's the great thing about digital music production these days is it's made music and music creation so much more accessible to people. Back in the day, 30 years ago, you needed a lot of money to get into a big recording studio to access this type of equipment. And nowadays, you can download a piece of software on your computer in your bedroom and make a hit record in it. And lots of people are doing that. So it's great. We're seeing more and more people getting involved in music and music production. And we hope that by coming to study here with us, we can help you, improve in that area and be the future generations of music producers to come.
All right, cool. Let's go take a look at the radio room then.
Yeah, cool. So through to Studio 5, we have our radio broadcasting studio. And in here, we're going to be teaching students essentially how to produce, present, and deliver a professional broadcast. So welcome to Studio 5. We have, again, 16 workstations, a little different to the ones in the other studios. We're working with a Tractor S2 controller, which works as a 2-channel mixer slash kind of audio playback system, and the push controllers, which could be great for your jingles, launching samples, and other segments of your radio show that you're going to be preparing. When students are presenting and performing their radio shows, they're going to probably be working with a desk like this. So similar to the large desks we saw next door, just on a smaller format, and you'll be running several channels of audio, the microphones, for example, so that you can concisely deliver your radio show. On the system here, we're running a Myriad playout system. This is pretty much found in most professional broadcast studios, and essentially allows you to centralize everything through a software system on the computer. So you can kind of line up how you want your show to be delivered and prepare a professional radio show.
Yeah, another good thing is about the instructors here at Point Blank. Our instructors here, for example, for radio, they have a lot of connections with people at BBC, Radio 1, all that kind of stuff, and we constantly get people coming in, special guest masterclasses from radio presenters that are working in the industry and big players in the industry, big personalities coming in, giving their experiences, telling our students about what it's like and how they can go and get themselves into the radio industry. And it's not just radio, we do masterclasses on pretty much every 2 weeks, every month. We get a big artist coming in and they'll tell us more about what it's like to be an artist, how their work process is, how they create a certain track, all that kind of stuff. So you do get a lot of that kind of support coming to Point Blank as well.
Definitely. And those types of sessions that we run can also lead to great opportunities. On the radio course itself, we have a lot of students that go on to find work within broadcasting. And one of the things I love to say to students is kind of tell them about the importance of networking and collaborating and meeting people, because that's really kind of the main way to get ahead in the music industry. So if you're a music producer, for example, and you're not perhaps interested in radio, it's always a good idea to be friendly with the radio students, because they go on and become radio personalities. And if you happen to know somebody who's got a junior role at a radio station like the BBC, for example, then you've got a direct contact that you can perhaps send your demos to and potentially have played to the whole country. So it's through these types of networking opportunities and collaborative instances that you can grow and learn and push your career forward. So by all means, definitely recommend getting involved with as many people as you can. I think we'll go out and check Studio 4 next. So if we go over here, and in Studio 4, we have our DJ studio. So as part of our courses, we teach music production, but also DJing. And one of our degree programs is our music production and DJ practice degree. And that's going to be taking place here in Studio 4. We are sponsored and we have a partnership with Pioneer, as you could probably tell. So a lot of the equipment that we'll be working with in here is Pioneer DJ equipment. CDJ 2000 Nexus, for example, different types of mixers across the board, effects units, as well as the old school analog turntables, for example, the new PLX 1000s. So as part of that course, you're going to be learning how to use all of the equipment so you can deliver a professional DJ performance, whether it be in a club, venue or bar. And we'll also teach you how to promote yourself, how to start finding work as a DJ, how to start getting your first gigs, to speak to club promoters and start earning from your DJing, which can be quite profitable and lucrative. Yeah. It's a great way for music producers to kind of look at other revenue streams in terms of pursuing that career.
And of course, it's always great to play your own music out in the club. So that's always a big plus.
Definitely.
Getting the crowd dancing to your music that you've made, at point blank.
There's nothing more thrilling than seeing, a few hundred people kind of dancing to your music, or maybe a few thousand people if you get really successful. So yeah, it's a great way of kind of showcasing your music and your talent as well.
Yeah, and just outside of the DJ course, I mean, just look at this room, man. There's so much stuff in here. It is a complete. You learn everything about DJing essentially. So we don't just do Pioneer, even though this is the Pioneer DJ room, you can actually see around here we have a lot of Pioneer DJ stuff. And of course, around on the walls, you can see people that have come here, guest artists. We've got Armin van Buren, we've got Sasha, we've got John Rundell was a student here. Patrick Topping.
John Rundell is a student.
He is a student
with us at the moment.
He's still here.
So John Rundell runs Carl Cox's label. I think it's Intech Digital.
Intech, that's it.
He himself, wanted to come and learn more about production. I think he's been doing a mixing course recently, and he's looking to improve his production. So it's even already established music professionals that are coming to Point Blank to learn more.
Well, there's always room to learn. There's always something new to learn,
Absolutely. And you're always evolving, and you never know everything.
Yeah, the industry evolves all the time.
Exactly, and we like to kind of keep our finger on the pulse in that manner and make sure that we're always updated with the latest kit and equipment and techniques, which is why our curriculum and the courses and the modules are always being developed. They're always being updated with the newest and latest tips and tricks and techniques to help you improve your production so that you're ahead of the game. When you come out and you graduate with Point Blank, you are, learning the best, and you'll be able to output that in terms of your production.
Yeah. Also in this room, another cool thing is that it's not, even though it is a Pioneer DJ room, we do also teach stuff like Tractor. We have Tractor controllers in here. We also teach Serato. So, we're not all just favored towards Pioneer DJ.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of stuff from Native Serato, exactly.
All right, let's move on to
Studio 6, so if you'd like to follow us.
Which is the Native Instruments room.
Which is the Native Instruments room, exactly. So in Studio 6, we're going to be looking a lot more at production-based stuff. This is really where you're going to be starting to work with your main DAW, so either Logic Pro or Ableton Live. And learning everything that kind of production tool offers you. So once you get a better understanding of working with your DAW, with your main tool, it allows you to be a lot more creative with your production, get your ideas out a lot more fluidly, and enjoy the whole production process a lot more. Thereafter, we'll start looking at modules like music composition, which helps you bridge the gap between sort of understanding the theoretical side of music and how to structure and arrange your music properly. A lot of students that come to Point Blank, when I first meet them, they often don't have a formal musical background, so they don't maybe play any instruments or they don't know much about music theory. So this module is really great to kind of help them bridge that gap and, again, help them further enjoy the whole creative process and just get their ideas out a lot more quicker to kind of, be quite prolific in terms of their production.
Yeah, when I started here, that was one of the courses I did, which was music composition. It's basically like music theory, from basic to a bit more advanced stuff. When I started here, pretty much all I knew was keys. Major, minor keys, A, B, blah, 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 blah. But then you learn things about like scale, for example. You learn, all your chord progressions, your stuff like relative, major, relative minor, all that kind of stuff. And you go really in depth, and you don't just study electronic music, you learn about all different types of music, because really that's the only way to really learn. You can't just pigeonhole yourself in one place. We learn about, soul music, hip hop, R&B, drum and bass, rock music, all that kind of stuff. So, it really opens your mind to different types of music there is out there. And then from that, you get inspiration, and you can put it into your own music, whether you make house, techno, hardstyle or something. It doesn't matter. When you get inspiration from all these other genres, you can take that and make your own sound.
Definitely, and I think a lot of students benefit from that enormously. It helps them kind of get a better understanding of the musical elements that you tend to find in music production and creation.
Yeah.
And once you have a better understanding of that, you can break all of that apart and create something new and be original and explore new ideas within those sectors.
Yeah, and another crazy thing about that is, from the genre kind of thing, is the collaborative opportunities that you meet with people, other students that are studying here. I mean, I met people that were gonna go and make disco music. I met people that are rock, like guitar players, drummers, all that kind of stuff. So you know, it's not like you're coming here and all you're gonna learn is how to make techno.
Definitely not. There are so many influences that can affect you, and you're not only learning from the lecturers, but you're also learning from one another, and that goes back to the whole contacts thing that I was saying. You know, the importance of collaborating and working with one another, because the way I like to see it is that our students are the future of the music industry, and the other people in your class, for example, are going to be very important connections and contacts that you'll have in your future. Future recording engineers, future technicians, future label managers and owners, and people that are going to be able to help you along the way.
So let's take a look at the gear that we have in this room. This is very nice and shiny in here. I really like this room.
Yeah, there's a lot of flashing lights going on in here. So we're working with the new Machine MK3s. We have Machine Jam, which is a great tool to kind of use more in a live performance type setting. Obviously the new Complete Control keyboards. So a lot of Native Instruments gear, and as you might see at the back here, a bit more of their equipment that's been showcased and that students get to work with. We also work with the Native Instruments complete range of plugins, so that's plugins like Contact, Massive, Reactor, FM8, Absinthe, etc. And we're looking at those specifically in sound design. So that's when students are going to start kind of working on their own presets, developing their own sounds, and that helps them kind of stand out from the rest of the crowds and be a lot more unique in their music production. Really start getting their own signature sound in terms of their outputs.
Oh, also, just before we move on, I just realized we said we do 3 DAWs here, right?
3 DAWs, yeah.
We do, but we also now are doing an FL Studio weekend course.
That's correct, that's true actually.
Yeah.
FL Studio is going to be launching, I think, on the 8th of June. It's a short weekend course. And it's true, we've been getting a lot of interest from students because it's usually a way for students to be introduced to music production through FL Studio.
It's a great place to start making music.
Definitely.
It's very, very easy to use, but we will be having a weekend course for the people that really want to jump into it.
Yeah, so if you're interested in learning more about FL, give us a call.
Or just ask us some questions at the end. Make sure you go and write your questions into that chat box on the right side of that screen, and we'll answer all those in a second. But should we move on to the next room?
Let's go to Studio 7. So Studio 7 is another production studio, and we tend to do a bit more work in here with Ableton. So we have the push-to controllers at every workstation, which students are going to be working with, as well as Machiner, as you can see, and more equipment for you to use throughout your studies. So again, we're doing music production, perhaps composition, sound design, but I think also I should mention a few modules that we teach and a degree that we also teach, which is our music industry management degree. And so the business modules that we teach as part of production, I feel are vitally important to a music producer's success and future success, because having a good understanding of the business side of things is 50% of the battle. You could be a fantastic music producer, musician, be making the best tunes, but if they're not being heard by anybody, you're going to really struggle and it's going to be difficult for you. So it's about getting a good understanding between the creative but also the business side. And that's understanding how the music industry functions, the different types of roles you'll find within it, how to deal with label managers or your own manager, deal with things like contracts and how to negotiate those, understanding things like royalties, publishing, licensing, distribution, etc. And I think some music producers forget that. So we kind of try and focus on that a little bit as part of the course, and we have a whole degree dedicated purely to music industry management. And that's to help develop the future label owners, events planners, and people that are going to be working in a professional capacity within the business side of the industry. So as part of the production courses, there is going to be a bit of a focus on that to help you get the best deals and to help you start earning from your music.
Yeah, for example, we have some special guests that come in and tell us more about what their experiences are as a music industry manager. For example, we had Attilio Pugliese, and he's part of a management group, and they deal with some pretty big artists like Lee Foss, I think and also the label Repopulate Mars,
right?
I believe. And it's a big tech house kind of label. One of the big tracks that just came out there was this track from Michael Beebe, Hanging Tree, and they do some real big shows, but they deal with a lot of management for big artists. And he came in telling us how you can go and get management, and when you need management, and what a manager will do for you. And that's the kind of insight that you don't get outside of somewhere like Point Blank.
Definitely, absolutely. And through the business side of things as well, it's probably where you're going to get the majority of opportunities. It's by making those types of connections and contacts in the business world that you can start finding work and start earning from your music. So it's very important, I would say, and something that we focus on here because it's for your development as an artist.
Definitely. So let's go check out the practice studios that you can.
So as part of the course fees, guys, we have practice facilities that are available for you to use to come in and work on your assignments, your coursework, or your own personal projects. And these are available 24/7, and you can basically book these out to work on your projects. So if you want to take a quick look in here, they're private, self-contained studios to work on any stuff that you'd like. So we've got Push 2, TR8, Machine Studio in here, I think 101, UAD sound card, and there's a little live room through the glass as well.
You've just got some new monitors in there as well, these new Adam monitors.
That's right, Adam are a new partner of ours, so we've got some of their kit, and we can also get you guys discounts as well. That's another cool thing about coming to Point Blank. Through all of these partnerships we have with the main industry players and manufacturers, we can get you great discounts. So 50% off Complete, 30% off Native Instruments hardware, 50% off Ableton, and then there's loads of great discounts on plugins and other equipment hardware to help you build up your studios whilst you're here.
Yep. And with our studios, it's not just during school, school hours. We actually open quite late as well.
Yeah, we're open 7 days a week, during the week from 9:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. And on the weekends from 9:30 till 7:30. So you've got plenty of time to come in and make use of all these fantastic facilities.
Awesome.
Cool. If you would like to follow me, we'll go back into the hub. Quickly, whilst I've got you here, I'd like to show you our trophy cabinet. So since we started back in 1994, over the years, we're very fortunate to have won many awards, which we're very proud of. Most recently, I think probably our greatest achievement is winner of the Best Independent HE establishment from the What Uni Awards. So I think that really speaks testament to what our students think about us and the type of education that we will deliver here at Point Blank. Also, just behind you and in front of me, we have our Wall of Fame, and this is just a few examples of graduates that have come and studied with us, as well as guest artists that we have come in to do masterclasses and lectures for the students. So you may recognise a couple of famous faces up on the wall. Nile Rodgers, we did some work with him. Laidback Luke, Nicole Mudaba was a recent graduate of ours. Aluna Francis, for example, Leona Lewis, Felix Yan was also a previous graduate. So lots of interesting people that have been through our doors over the years, and we'll be getting many more of these people, and hopefully maybe a few of you might be up here one day too.
And of course, just out here is the hub here at Point Blank, and it's where you'll be spending a lot of your time, maybe having lunch, just hanging out, chatting to friends that you've made here at the school. And it's just a nice area. I really like the hub. It's got like a nice vibe here.
It is, and I think it goes back to the whole collaborative aspect that we really push here. It's somewhere for you to chill out, but also work with one another, share your ideas, be creative, and grow together. It really is the hub and the heartbeat of Point Blank.
Yeah.
So you'll be spending a lot of time in here. You can get your laptops out and work with one another, and move forward.
And we've got a vending machine over there, which is awesome. Don't forget the vending machine.
Refreshments are always necessary. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Cool.
Snacks in the studio. No snacks in the studio.
No snacks in the studio, just in the hub.
Yeah, in the hub. Anyways, let's move on and check out some of these questions that people may have got for us. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed taking a look around. Again, if you do have any questions, then feel free to put them to us. We'll be happy to answer those. Yeah. Anything in the comments?
Let's take a look at the comments. Are you guys still offering free trial courses?
So what I'd recommend for free courses is checking out our online school. We also have a whole online school where we teach a load of courses in online format. And we have free online course samples. So it's a great way to kind of find out a bit more information about how the online courses are conducted, etc. If you're looking to come and study with us in London, then probably to get started, if you want to try out first, I'd recommend something like a weekend course, maybe the weekend FL Studio course, or we do a weekend production course in Ableton, or weekend DJing courses, for example. So they're always a great kind of cost-effective way to get going with Point Blank.
All right, so also, someone says that someone's looking for a summer course for mixing and mastering.
Summer courses for mixing and mastering. So we have a course called Mixing and Mastering Award, which takes place over 3 months, starting in July over the summer, from the 8th of July. So if you've got 3 months from July through to the end of September, it would be the perfect course for that. We also do a whole range of summer courses, which are a bit shorter in music production, DJing, radio, and singing, as well as a 1-month DJ producer summer school, which will have a bit of mixing thrown in as well. And it's going to be a bit more geared on the kind of starting to produce to kind of mixing and finishing your tracks. As well as with that course, we get loads of kind of access to clubs and events and parties in London over the summer. So it's a good time to come and, have some fun with us.
Awesome. Also, I've got here, are you an accredited uni?
We are, very good question. We are an accredited university. So in fact, we offer courses in partnership with Middlesex University. They are our partnering university. So essentially they quality assure and they accredit our courses. Everything is delivered here and written by our course developers here at Point Blank. But upon successful completion of your course, when you graduate with a Middlesex award. So you'll get a degree qualification from Middlesex with Point Blank Music School.
Cool. And also, you get to go to a full graduation ceremony. You get to get the gown. You get to, get the hat, throw your hat in the air, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. You'll be invited to a formal graduation ceremony at Middlesex University. You can pick up your scroll and wear the old nice outfit and look the part on the day.
Yeah, great way to end your time here at Point Blank.
Definitely.
Okay, so how many students total do you guys accept?
So it really depends on the term. That's a good question because Point Blank, unlike most universities, has 4 start dates per year. So they are in January, April, we go on starting on Monday, guys, July, and in September. So traditionally, September tends to be the busiest time. So we usually have around maybe 150 students, possibly 200 are going to be starting our higher education courses. Whereas in January, April, and July, it tends to be a bit quieter, maybe 50 to 100 students might be starting. What I'd recommend, if you are interested in studying with us, is apply now. There's no better time than to apply now so we can consider your application and hopefully look to make you an offer to start on your desired start date. We are quite a small school, so we're definitely not on the same size as some much larger universities. We're very unique and specialised in terms of what we do. So that means we're limited in terms of our availability. So when we're full, guys, we're full. But then the nice thing is, there's always another start date just around the corner.
Yeah, and as you guys can see, even though we're a small school, we have really, really great facilities.
Absolutely. We do one thing and we like to think that we do it the best. We focus on music production and sound engineering, mixing, mastering, singing, songwriting, etc. And, I think that through what we can provide you, the facilities, etc., you'd be hard pressed to find somewhere else that can deliver the same kind of output.
Okay, so next up I have, do student loans cover the fees?
Very good question. If you're looking to study one of our 3-year degree programs with us here in London, or any of our higher education courses online, then a student loan is available. Your best bet would probably be to get in touch with myself or one of my colleagues in the course advisor team, and we'd be happy to give you some more information about that. But the course fees would be partly funded, with part of that needing to be covered privately.
Cool. Next up, we kind of answered this a little bit, but do we have any famous graduates?
Yeah, we've had many graduates. In fact, I think a good example to give you now is a collaborative duo who studied with us very recently. They actually came across an opportunity through us, through some of our partners. So I think it was through a company called Tape, who promotes artists, and they have recording studios in London. And they got these 2 guys to come out and start producing and working in their studios. They currently have a single in the charts, I think at number 7 this week. It's just entered the charts at number 7, and it looks like it's going to be going up all the way to number 1. It's in collaboration with a band called, or a group called Steel Bangles, and the track is called Fashion Week. So right now, as we speak, we've got successful students in the charts. And we've previously had students achieve number 1 hits in the UK, across Europe, across the world. Students like Felix Jan, Leona Lewis, for example, as well as students, radio graduates, for example, now presenting on Channel 4 here in the UK, at the BBC, BBC Radio 1, Radio 1 Extra, and students working at a multitude of different record labels and recording studios. We've had many successful students over the years, and we're very proud of that. And I think that's a good way for you to judge us as a music school, and why you should consider us to come and study with us. It's through our previous student successes and what they've gone on to achieve.
And that's something that's quite interesting, because you mentioned stuff like record labels and stuff like that. Coming here will open your eyes and make you realize that the music industry is huge, and it's not just becoming the next Martin Garrix or DJ Tiesto or whatever. There are so many avenues into having a successful career in the music industry, and we can show you exactly how to achieve those things.
Absolutely. That's what the courses are designed for. They're designed to show you your career opportunities and pathways in order to help you become successful in the music industry. And there are loads of different ways to get around it and to get to the goals that you set yourself. But with the skills and the techniques that we teach you here at Point Blank, we can make, those dreams a reality.
Absolutely. Okay, so for the music production and sound engineering degree, the intro modules are either Logic or Ableton. Is there any flexibility with that?
Just the introduction to music production, essentially, is a software-specific module. And the reason why it's like that is because we really think that it's important for you to understand your main production tool inside and out. Once you have a better understanding of Logic or Ableton, thereafter all of the other modules are cross-platform. So you could potentially be working in Ableton one day and maybe Logic on another day. And I think a lot of music producers, over time, they start to adopt other DAWs because they have different features that they may like and want in those. So it might be that you love a feature in Cubase or Reason or Pro Tools or another piece of software. And so you might, start working within that one a little bit whilst, then bouncing everything back into your main DAW at the end. So you'll find that you'll get used to working with all of those eventually.
Cool. Next up, we have a question about genres. Do you also develop production techniques in such genres such as R&B and pop? But also, there's another question underneath it, which is very similar. What other genres that the audio production and mixing courses cater towards the most?
So we do not discriminate against any genre. You are welcome to come and produce whatever kind of music you like, whether it be pop, R&B, or whether it be more electronic type stuff, or rock, or any style. What you're learning here are production techniques that you can apply to all styles of music, and there will be focused attention from the instructors, to also learn production techniques specific to your preferred genre of music. But we're not just about electronic music here at Point Blank. We're about music. We're about all types of music, because we love it, and I think you guys do too. So it's about teaching you everything you need to know to be the best at whatever type of music you want to produce.
Awesome. And I think that's about it. Let's finish off on this one question. Where are you guys located?
Very good question. We are in London. We're in London. We're in northeast London, in Hoxton, which is in the borough of Hackney. We're quite central. But we also have schools around the world. We have an online school, which I mentioned very briefly. And for those of you maybe who can't make it to London and who might be in other parts of the world, we have a campus in Los Angeles, so great for our US-based students. We have a campus in Mumbai. We get a lot of students from India that like to come to study with us in London. But if you can't make it, then Mumbai is a great option. We're going to be running our Ibiza summer courses, 2 weeks in the sun, on the Great White Isle. It's always fun. So go and check out our Ibiza courses if you want to do those.
Study during the day, party at night.
Absolutely. We've got loads of great access to clubs and stuff like that, and DJing opportunities as part of the Ibiza course, which is awesome. And also, we're very excited to be opening a branch in China in only a few months.
It'll be in Hangzhou, so somewhat close to Shanghai.
Yeah, I think you've been, right?
I have been. And it is under renovation right now, but we'll be completing soon, and hopefully we'll be open for a summer.
Yeah, so wherever you are in the world, hopefully there's a Point Blank campus not too far. Today, obviously, we've been seeing the London campus, and it'd be great to have you come and join us. If you're interested in one of our higher education courses, apply now. If you're interested in any of our practical courses, you can enroll via the website. And the same goes for any of our other courses around the world.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you. See you later.
PointBlankMusicSchool.com.